4.5 million people earning a middle-class income that have a net worth below 5 grand. In a recent video, we looked at income levels needed to be lower class, upper class, and middle class in America. But as Russell TC pointed out in the comments, there's income and there's wealth, and the two aren't always correlated. Remember, it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. So in this video, we're going to take those 5 income brackets from the last video to find out what net worth it takes to be in the different classes in America. So go watch that video first if you don't remember which group you fell into. And we're sticking with the income brackets because that's how the government reports it. So if you don't like it, take it up with them. Net worth is calculated as the total of all your household assets minus your liabilities. Assets include things like the value of your home, the value of your investment accounts, your bank accounts, and things like the value of your car. Liabilities, on the other hand, include things like the amount you owe on your mortgage, your car loan, any student debt you still have, and things like any medical or credit card debt. The median net worth for all Americans is $140,800. That means half the people in the US have a net worth above that, and half the people in the US have a net worth below that. So who's at the bottom? The median net worth for the bottom 20% of Americans is just $6,770. Obviously, we'd expect the net worth of the people earning the lowest wages in America to be quite low. And 47% of Americans who have income in the bottom 20% have a net worth of less than $5,000. But surprisingly, 14% of the people who fall in the lowest income bracket in the United States have a net worth of over $250,000, which is truly impressive if you remember that the upper range of this income bracket works out to be about $13 an hour. And that's something you'll see throughout this video. There will be people in every one of these income brackets that has a negative net worth because they're in debt. Even when we get to the top 20% of all earners in the United States, 3% of those people have a net worth below 0. Again, it's not how much you make, it's what you keep. Now we're gonna jump up to the next 20%, the lower middle class. The lower middle class of households in America has a median net worth of $55,780. And the fascinating thing about this lower middle class group is that this is the group that had the most even distribution of net worths, with about 16% of people in the lower middle class having a 0 or negative net worth, and almost 13% of lower middle class households having a net worth of over $500,000. My guess as to why this is this might be where we find a lot of people that are in retirement, where they've accumulated a high net worth over the years, but now that they're retired, they only need to live off of $40,000 or $50,000 a year and end up in this income group. Next up is the true middle class, the middle 20%. And the median net worth of the middle class in America is $113,000. It's funny because there's no single definition of what it means to be middle class. In fact, a 2015 Pew Research study showed that 90% of all Americans consider themselves to be middle class. So while the number of actual middle-class Americans is obviously far smaller, many more people feel as if they're only in the middle because they don't have a strong sense of security around their finances. They live paycheck to paycheck, or they don't have enough of an emergency fund in savings, so they know they need to turn to credit cards or other debt to pay off a large purchase or unexpected expense. And you see that in how the net worth splits for our middle class earners. 17% have a net worth below $5,000. That works out to nearly 4.5 million people earning a middle class income that have a net worth below 5 grand. Thankfully, on the flip side, over half of middle class earners have a net worth above $100,000. Now on to the higher earners in our society, the next jump in income brackets up to the upper middle class. The median net worth for the upper middle class in America is $241,000. And this upper middle class income range is where we start to find that people are very secure with their finances. 80% of upper middle class earners have a net worth over $100,000, and 30% have a net worth of over $500,000. If I had to guess, I'd say this is where a lot of you fall into. The people who feel financially secure, have money to invest, and care about doing so are probably the ones sitting here on YouTube watching videos like mine, because you're interested in making your way from the upper middle class to the wealthiest class, the top 20% of all Americans. And the median net worth for the upper class of America is $676,200. And 59% of all the people in this wealthy class of Americans have a net worth over $500,000. But it's not all rosy even at the top, as even for these high income earners, 13% of them have a net worth of under $100,000, and 4% have less than $10,000 in net worth. Next up, click this video right over here for more about where you rank in America, and I'll see you there.